So hello students. So in the last class of digital electronics, we have completed about your combination circuits. In this class, as I have already explained you, the digital circuits is of will design by using your combination circuits or sequential circuits. So in this class, we will study about another important circuit design, that is your sequential circuits. Sequential circuits. So what we have studied in combination circuits where the output depends only on the present input, that is where your output, this is your output line, this is your input line, and this is your combination of circuits, combination of logic gates, that's why combinational circuits. Here output depends is a function of only present input, Here we don't have any memory elements, here we don't have any feedback elements, here output only depends on present input. But in sequential circuits we will see, this is your sequential circuits. Here the output not only depends on the present input but also on the past output. So this is your memory, this is your and this is your output. So output here f is a function of present input and past output. So output is a function of not only the present input but also past output. So how to store that? In order to store the result, we need a memory. That's why in the feedback path, this is feedback. Feedback means some part of the output is feeding to the input. That is known as your feedback path. Feedback, that means some part of the output is feeding back to the input. Here we have a memory element to store the output. This memory element may be your RAM, SRAM or DRAM or your ROM. We will study about this memory element in another chapter, that is your memory devices. Here we have applying your input. We will have applying your input. So output not only depends on the present input but also depends on the past output. So in this class we will see what is this sequential circuit and what are the types of sequential circuit we will study and what are the application of sequential circuits. So let's study that. So first sequential circuits we will study about. In your syllabus they have also mentioned this flip-flops. So first sequential circuits we will study about flip-flops. So flip-flops, as I have written here, it is a basic memory element which is used to store one bit. So I have written here one bit. So first of all, how you measure the digital data? The basic unit of digital data is bits. Bits means 0 or 1, either 1 or 0. Then the collection of group of 4 bits, as I have already explained you, group of 4 bits, group of 4 bits is known as your nibble. Group of 8 bits is 1 byte. So group of 4 bits is known as nibble, group of 8 bits is known as bytes. So the basic unit of data is bits, and your memory is going to, for example, you are purchasing a mobile phone. So your RAM size is 4 GB. GB means gigabytes. Bytes means collection of 8 bits. So the basic smallest unit of data is bits. So that bit, this flip-flop, one flip-flop going to store one bit, one flip-flop going to store one bits. So it is a basic memory element used to store one bit. So if somebody asks you what is a flip-flop, so you can answer that. So flip-flop is a sequential circuit and it is a basic memory element which is used to store one bits. It has two stable states. It has two stable states. That's why this circuit is known as bistable multivibrator. Bistable multivibrator, because it has two stable states. Then we will see what are the types of flip-flop and how this flip-flop will be looks like. Then we will design the flip-flops. So this is your flip-flops. Flip-flops I am denoting here FF, means flip-flops. It has two output. I have written here. It has two output, QT and Q bar T. So here I can write Q bar means complement of output QT. So flip-flops has two outputs. Flip-flop has two outputs which are complement to each other. Complement to each other. Flip-flops has two outputs which are complement to each other. So then we will see what are the types of flip-flop. We will study about. So types of flip-flop. So we will study in your syllabus. We have four types of flip-flop, that is SR. S means set, reset. Set, reset. Set means 1, reset means 0. Reset means 0. Set means 1. Set, reset flip-flop or SR flip-flop. Then we have D flip-flop. Then we have JK flip-flop, and fourth one is your T flip-flops. So we will study about these four types of flip-flop: SR flip-flop, D flip-flop, JK flip-flop, T flip-flop. So before I will start about this SR flip-flop, let me explain you how your basic logic gates going to store a data. Suppose you have two NOT gates. So how already you have studied, this is a NOT gate, this is also a NOT gate or complementary gates. So when I am applying here input as 0, after some delay, what will be the output? Output will be 1. Again after some delay because of this 2 nanosecond. 2 nanosecond delay means whenever we apply some input, after some delay, this gate going to process the output and it will converted into 1. So 0 to 1, this conversion will take some time, and this circuit is going to convert that 0 to 1, and this is your NOT gate. When 1 is applied, output will be 0, and this 0 you can see here get feedback to this output. So this is obviously at 0, the moment you apply 0 and we are getting this output after some delay, and this gate delay is 2 nanosecond, this gate delay is 2 nanosecond. So after 4 nanosecond also we are getting the same result. So obviously it is a memory element which is going to store. This property is act like a storing that result for 4 nanosecond. So you are giving the input 0 and you are also getting or we are also retrieving that here after 4 nanosecond of delay. So this is your basic. If you understand this circuit, you will easily understand your flip-flop circuit, which I am going to explain you in the upcoming class. So how to design this circuit? Here I am taking this circuit 1 and also I am making this is as parallel circuit, and you can see here this output is connected to the input. So this output is connected to the input, and here the output of this circuit is going to connect here with the input. This circuit is going to connect with the input. So this is a circuit similar to this, just I have made the cross coupled. Here this is your suppose first gate, this is your second gate. I have drawn here, this is your second gate, this is your first gate. The output of the second gate, this is your first gate, this is your second gate. The output of your second gate is connected with the input of the one. The output of the second gate is connected to the input of the one. The output of the first gate is connected to the input of the second. So just cross coupled. So this is another way of looking your flip-flop circuit. So this is your QT and this is your Q bar T. As I have already told you, in every flip-flop circuits or every sequential circuit, we will have two outputs. Always here we have two outputs. One is complement to other. Q bar means complement to other, means inverted. If QT is 1, that means Q bar 2 is equal to 0. If QT is 0, Q bar 2 will be equal to 1. So this is a circuit will be formed. So next we will see first we will see a clock signal. A clock signal is always required. Next we will see clock or trigger. Clock or trigger. Clock or trigger signal. Here we have two types of triggering circuit mechanism. We have level trigger and another one is your edge trigger. Edge trigger. So how the level trigger circuit will be looks like? This is your level trigger. Okay. And how your edge trigger? Edge trigger is again we have positive edge trigger and we have also negative edge. So first we will understand what is a clock signal. So clock always we are going to apply in sequential circuits, that is your trigger signal. Clock means your this clock is going to decide when the output is connected to your input or present state, when the output is going to change or when the output is going to respond to the input is going to decide by this timer circuit, that is known as your clock or trigger. This clock is of two types, level trigger as well as your edge trigger. How the level trigger will be looks like? It is like a square wave. Square wave is here repeated. This is your one of the square wave. Square wave is repeated. This is known as your clock signal. So this is one time period. Time period means your at every, suppose this is your time period T, time period, which is also denoted by t. So after t times, t means for example your 5 second, So after 5 second or after t times, again this pulse will be repeated, the same nature. फिर again यहाँ से यहाँ और एक time period, so यहाँ से यहाँ मान लो t है, so t से t फिर और एक time period, that is 2t, फिर again this pulse will be repeated. So this is known as your label trigger or square wave circuits, or you can be use here rectangular pulse. Here the pulse is repeated after every time period. Time period means after a certain time period. For example, 1 day. Again this pulse is repeated after 1 day. So this time, or 1 second, again after 1 second the same nature will be repeated. So after how many times, after how many second or how many days or how many minutes the same thing will be repeated is known as your time period of time period. So if I ask you what is the time period of your week, so today is Sunday, today is Tuesday, then after 7 days Tuesday will again repeated. So 7 day is the time period for a week. So similarly here, this you can see, this is your label trigger circuit, this is your label trigger circuit. So in this case we will see here, this. So this is your time period. Only here the circuit will respond at high level. For example, this high level will respond. So in this period only your output will be connected to the input. Here only at this instant, at this age only. So this is your positive age. Positive age means when your pulse is make a transition from 0 to 1. Make a transition from 0 to 1. This is your age. Again this will be repeated here. So this is your time period. So after this, here also your pulses make a transition from 0 to 1. Again it will be like that. So similarly negative age you can understand here, the negative age or trailing age, when your pulse will make a transition from 1 to 0. At that instant only your circuit will respond. We will see here your application. So remember, clock means you in sequential circuit you always need a clock or trigger signal. This clock signal means with your input, this clock signal is applied only when your output is going to respond to your input. Otherwise whatever output is in the previous state, that will be remain as it is. That's why I have already explained you, this is a bistable circuit. Bistable means the stable signal, that means if for example if you have a circuit, if you have a sequential circuits, that sequential circuits consist the output as 1, until and unless a clock signal is applied or input signal along with the input signal a clock signal or trigger signal is applied, it will not make the transition from 1 to 0. It will contain that 1 only. So that's why this circuit is known as bistable circuit. In order to make the transition from 1 to 0, we need a clock signal. So clock means here triggering signal. Because of this triggering signal, your output is connected to your input and your circuit is going to respond to your input and going to change the output. That's why this circuit is also known as bistable multivibrator. Bistable means both the states are stable states. In order to make the transition from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1, we need some trigger signal, and that trigger signal is also known as your clock signal. So clock signal is of two types, label trigger or edge trigger. In case of label trigger circuits, the circuit will respond only at this positive edge, positive level, or at the negative level. Here I have drawn your positive level. In this case, we will have two types of edge trigger, positive edge and negative edge trigger. Positive edge means when your circuit will make the transition from 0 to 1. This is your positive edge. Negative edge means when your circuit will make the transition from 1 to 0. At that edge only your output will respond to your input. Your circuit is going to operate or respond to your input. We will see its application in the upcoming class. So thank you. The next class we will see about this sequential circuit more and more. I will teach you about how to construct your SR flip-flop, what are its advantages and disadvantages, its characteristics table, its state table, which is very very important. So please student, kindly revise all the basics which I have studied till now, which I have already taught you in the basics, that is your Boolean algebra, your truth table, how to construct the truth table, your combination circuits, your all the logic gates, all the logic equation, for example your AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate. So you have to revise that. I am going to use this, use that properties here in order to build your sequential logic gates. So thank you.